Let's make a new component. We'll call it GithubUser. And this is what that route will point to. So GithubUser.js. So we'll import React and component from React. We'll make a class called GithubUser that extends component. It's a class, so it'll need a render function, render method, which will need to return something. I'll return something with a class of the same name as the component itself. I'll export default GithubUser, of course. And then the idea is we'll go to this component if the URL matches GitHub/user. So right now, we still see the GitHub component when we have a username up there, right? Because it still matches that route for this page. The way we got to the GitHub page in the first place was to match the route /GitHub. But because we didn't say exact, we just say route path equals GitHub, that matches. If we change this to route exact path equals GitHub, now GitHub/Yabba31 no longer takes us there. But we want it to take us there. But then once we're there, once we're in the GitHub component, we want to define a route that determines whether we also show the GitHub user component inside here. So let's do some importing. So we'll import route from React Router DOM inside here. React Router Doom. And we'll still print all this stuff. But under our form now, let's add a route. And the path for that will be /GitHub /:username. So that's a param now. So what this route will do, it will match /GitHub /anything. If there's a slash and something following that slash, it'll match this route now. And what do we do if that happens? Why, we want to route it to our new component, GithubUser, which I don't think we've imported yet, or have we? We haven't. So let's import that. Import GithubUser from /GithubUser. And we added a path that goes there. Of course, there's nothing in there. So what can we do in GithubUser? First of all, did it in fact load it up? Yeah, here's GithubUser, and it has history, location, and match. So what did we learn about params? When we have a param in our component like this, when a part of our component path includes :something, whatever goes in that place inside the URL will get added to a param, right? We get to that param through the match prop. Match dot params dot whatever the param name is. So inside GithubUser, we could print that. So I'll add an H1 inside here. It says GithubUser this.props dot match, which is passed in automatically by React Router, dot params dot username. Yes, it is. If you think it's just too gosh darn long, you could always do something like this. Inside our render method, we could say const params equals this.props.match to pull that params key out of there. And then we could just say params.username. There we go. GitHub user Yaba31. Totally works. Type in a different one. Oh, was it Ferris E? Was that your username? Ferris E. Totally works. URL changes. And when the URL changes, this changes. So it's one of the three things that will always be passed in by React Router: history, location, and match. And match tells you a couple of things here. It includes a prop that tells you whether it was an exact match or not. Because we saw that sometimes you can match other things, right? So if we go to, if we look at GitHub, not GithubUser, we'll see match is exact as false. Because it's not going straight to /GitHub, right? It's /GitHub/ something, which still matches the GitHub component, but it's not an exact match, so that's false now. But on GitHub user, that's an exact match. It also tells what path you used to get there, what path it matched, as well as the actual URL, complete with whatever you had in there as the param. So if the definition of your route included a param like this, something with colon, and what that's saying is this route should match /GitHub/anything. By putting the colon in there, we're saying that could be anything. It would match /GitHub/pancakes. It would match /GitHub/destruce, whatever. And by saying username after the colon, I'm saying whatever is the match there, whatever's typed in there in the URL, I want to assign to a param called username. And so the other thing that match does, the match prop does, is it includes this object of your params. So if you have part of your URL is matching a param, whatever part matches that param will be assigned to match.params dot whatever you call that param. So if my route were called /GitHub/ frick-frack. I know, sorry. You're not here to censor me now. Then GitHub user will receive the props match.params.frick-frack and set that equal to whatever I typed in here. If I typed pancake breakfast in here, then my GitHub user component would have match.params.frick-frack equal to pancake breakfast. Get it? Yeah. No, that's a stupid name. Yeah. Let's make it username. They're young ears in here. So now username is pancake breakfast. I wonder if that's a real GitHub user. Might be. Get it? Yeah. All right. So we added the GitHub user component. Add GitHub user component. And route with params. So having params in there gives us a lot more flexibility in what these things can do.